Good morning, and thank you for waking up with Wesley. I'm Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams here on a Friday, March 28th, 2025. Time is now just after 8:30 a.m., and we are taking a look at today's forecast, which I'm really confident about. We're probably not going to get much rain in South Mississippi on Friday. We'll also take a look at tomorrow's forecast, which I'm not quite as confident about. I was confident earlier this week, but things are changing as we keep checking the new model information. It's looking like it might not be as wet as once originally thought. So maybe all of your hopes paid off. If you were hoping for the rain to go away this weekend, maybe that hope worked. We'll take a look at that and more. Let's take a look at one thing I want to start off with, which is this morning's sunrise time lapse. Just for a fleeting moment, we were treated to a brilliant, bright, colorful sunrise earlier this morning. It was right after 6:30 in the morning. That was what we saw in Gulfport. We also had a view of that in Biloxi as well. Here's a look at the Biloxi time lapse right after 6:30 a.m. showing just a fleeting moment. You blink, you miss it, of that colorful sunrise painting along the canvas of clouds. Now, yesterday we had a lot of clouds in the area, but we were able to at least get some filtered sunshine through those clouds. Today, the clouds are much thicker, and so we're probably going to see a bit more of a gray day. One other thing you want to know about today is that it will be breezy. We're expecting breezy winds from the south and east, and those could get upwards of 15 miles an hour. They actually have already gotten upwards of 15 miles an hour. You can take a look at some of the latest wind speeds. Let's check in on the 8 a.m. conditions. And in Biloxi and Gulfport, those winds are around 15 miles per hour already this morning. They're probably going to go even higher by this afternoon, approaching 20 miles per hour, and the gusts could go higher than that as well. So plan on a breezy Friday. Very confident about that. Now, the chance for rain tomorrow is expected to be higher than today. It's never been 100%, so maybe there's hope that some of your outdoor plans on Saturday, maybe you'll be able to sneak them in without getting hit by some raindrops. Here's what we're watching on the weather map. Satellite and first alert radar showing a swirling upper disturbance over portions of Texas. You can make out that center of the swirl right about there, approaching Houston this morning. So if we kind of look at the atmosphere, what's happening, first of all, the upper disturbance, you can see where that center of circulation is located, about right there on Friday morning. It has a counterclockwise circulation. So that means all of this atmospheric moisture, that yellow and orange color, that's a lot of juiciness in the air. The more of that you have, the higher the rain chance will be. And it's kicking up a lot of that out ahead of it on Friday. It's pulling that moisture in the air from off the Gulf onto the coast. So that's why it's looking like a pretty rainy day over portions of Texas and Louisiana. And that stuff is drifting eastward. It's trying to move into Mississippi, but it's not going to be able to do that today. Tomorrow, probably a better chance of that happening as that disturbance slowly drifts eastward. So here's a look at the planner for Friday. I've adjusted the sky cover to basically overcast. Could you get a peek of sun here and there? Sure. But I think more likely than not, it looks like a pretty cloudy day. And those breezy winds up to 20 miles an hour. The temperatures will likely be in the 70s, but a few spots, if you get a break in the clouds for some sun, maybe you make it to the lower 80s. So it feels like spring. Not going to be a terribly chilly day. It will be warm like you expect in spring. Now tonight it will be mild. Lows will only get to the 60s. Not expecting any 50s. Chance for rain increases to 30% after midnight. And then tomorrow, chance for rain increases to 60%. So if you have plans on Saturday, it still looks like I can guarantee you this one thing. It will rain somewhere in South Mississippi at some point on Saturday. Ooh, that was easy. I got the forecast right tomorrow. Oh, you wanted me to make it more precise so that it's actually more useful for you? Ooh, yeah, gonna have an issue with that. Our new model information is throwing a monkey wrench into the details, the useful stuff to know about Saturday's forecast. You know, like when exactly which hours of the day look rainiest, exactly which parts of South Mississippi look rainier than the next. Those types of details, the precision, the precise information about timing and location or coverage, I'm less confident about that today than I have been. And I think this is a trend that I'm noticing that has happened at least once before earlier this month. We got some weekend rain chances. I come into the office on Monday. We take a Monday look at the weekend, but we've got two types of models. You hear us talk about this a lot. We got higher resolution models and lower resolution models. You can only use the higher resolution models when you're only in like a day or two of the day. Otherwise, you're stuck with the lower ones. So on Monday, we're looking at Saturday with lower. And when I say lower and higher resolution, you know, if you've been around for a while, you can think back to when we had the television sets with the big backs on them. Those were lower resolution TVs. Now we got the flat screens. That's a higher resolution television. And so that's what we're talking about. You can see a better picture with a higher resolution TV or screen monitor. And when we're taking a Monday low resolution look at Saturday, it's not going to look exactly like it will in reality. And perhaps those lower resolution models over-exaggerate the rain coverage. We're taking a Tuesday look at Saturday. The models, lower resolution models, are still over-exaggerating the rain coverage. Same thing happens Wednesday. But finally Thursday, we begin to get one high resolution model. It's not enough, but here we are Friday. Now we've got two high resolution models looking at Saturday, and it doesn't look as wet as the lower resolution models once thought or once indicated. So now the trends in the models are changing, and like I said, it makes me less confident. So here's that higher resolution view. And notice how many breaks there are in between each shower. That means maybe some of you can sneak in some of your outdoor plans on Saturday. And I know you're gathering your tomatoes, ready to throw them. And, you know, that's fine. But because I know some of you canceled plans on Saturday, maybe you canceled events on Saturday, and now the models are showing, well, wait, maybe it won't be as wet. And so now you're, you know, shaking the angry fist and saying, oh, shucks, I shouldn't have canceled. But unfortunately, that's, I guess, the way we have to now think about it. When we talk about weekend rain chances and we're taking early looks at them, you should take it with a grain of salt and really not make those last minute cancellations or decisions until 1 or 2 days out, when we have a much clearer picture of what to expect. And today we're only 1 day away from Saturday, so we have probably the clearest picture, I would say. And you can see Saturday morning, there might actually be some passing showers, but not everyone gets the rain. Because it shows so many breaks in the rain, I've actually taken the chance down from 70% to 60%. I'm not going to zero. Like I said, it will rain somewhere tomorrow in South Mississippi at some point. So there's no reason to go zero. But we've also never had any reason to go 100 either. We've never guaranteed everywhere it will rain, and we have also never guaranteed it will rain every hour of the day. It's always been kind of iffy from the get-go, but now it's looking even iffier with this rain. Look at this, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Where's the rain? Where is it? Maybe one little shower over Pass Christian. Here's 4 p.m. One little shower over Wiggins. Everyone else is like, what's going on? Thought it was going to be wet on Saturday. Why did I cancel? There's a look at 7 p.m. Pretty much nobody getting rain. But this is only one model. If I switched it over to a different model, it would actually show you different timing. Look, here's a look at that. So the model you were just looking at was a GRAF model. We have a different high resolution model called the HRRR or HRRR. Both of those two high resolution models are in fairly good agreement for the first 8 hours of Saturday. They both show limited rain coverage. But then look at the majority of Saturday, the middle of the day. Is it going to be a day that many of us see some showers, especially for our 3 inland counties? Or is it just going to be a bunch of crickets like the HRRR shows? And this is only one day away, and our high resolution models are showing this much uncertainty. Ooh, it aggravates me as a forecaster to not be able to bring that better confidence to you. I wish I could nail it with more precision for you, but with this, with my forecast tools showing me this, I can't give you that confidence that I'm used to giving you. And then you take a look at this Saturday night, what you got planned for the evening and night. Is it going to just be a bunch of crickets with no rain at all? Or is it going to be this big splash, this big washout, and Picayune maybe flooding on Saturday evening? Two different scenarios of how that could go. So will it be the top or the bottom model? And right now, it's hard to tell because we're 24 hours away. The rain that it's predicting doesn't even exist yet. It has to develop first. And then once it's on a radar map, it can then be tracked. But right now, it's so early, you can't really tell which model is more right than the other. So that's what we've been covering for you this morning on GMM. The fact that the new models are in with higher resolution and clearer picture of Saturday, and they are trending less wet than once originally expected for Saturday. But because this is just the beginning of that trend, I'm less certain of what's going to happen on Saturday, exactly where it will rain, how many hours of the day it will rain. All I can guarantee you is that it will likely rain somewhere in South Mississippi at some point on Saturday or Saturday night. So I think it's possible for some of you to sneak in your outdoor activities and events. And Monday, we're still tracking that severe system too, but the timing on that is also unclear. Now, Monday is 4 days away, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So we don't have those higher resolution models yet for Monday. So we're using those lower resolution models, which maybe over-exaggerate things a little bit. But even then, they still don't agree. When's it going to rain on Monday? Is it going to rain in the morning? Model 1 says no. Model 2 says yes. Is it going to rain in the middle of the day on Monday? Okay, we got some agreement there. So perhaps we can have some higher confidence on midday showers Monday. And there could be severe risk with them too. And then finally in the evening, there is also agreement there that we could see a decrease in rain activity for the second half of Monday. Last thing I'll leave you with is the severe risk map for Monday, which the Storm Prediction Center has maintained for this entire week, basically. So they're pretty confident that there's going to be some severe weather somewhere. Here's Sunday's map. From 7 a.m. Sunday to 7 a.m. Monday, severe weather is possible in that blue zone. And then here's Monday's map. From 7 a.m. Monday to 7 a.m. Tuesday, severe weather is possible somewhere in that yellow area. And you notice South Mississippi is in the yellow one. So again, things are lining up. We're thinking midday good rain chance for Monday. And this map shows that it could be at some point during the day on Monday when we get some severe weather out of that. A lot of times this stuff has been missing us to the north. So maybe the Mississippi coast will be spared this time as well. There's your future cast for Monday. You can see the showers perhaps arriving between sunrise Monday and noon Monday. And then we'll see things lightening up as we go into the evening. So there's a look at the 7-day forecast, putting it all together. And again, with great confidence, I can feel good about Friday's forecast, telling you it's a breezy, cloudy day with spring warmth and hardly any rain. I feel so good about Friday's forecast because I'm so confident about it. But Saturday, not as confident, so we'll see what happens, I guess. Good luck over the weekend, and take care. We'll see you again in the next one.